Hello. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here on yet another episode of Spilling the Tea of Life. I'm just waiting for possibly a few more people to pop in. But honestly, there's no script for this one. There's no skeleton. There's no outline. Oh, thank you so much for showing interest in my book. This is The Warrior of the Light. It's written by Paulo Coelho. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Coelho. It's right here. And it's a companion book to The Alchemist. I love The Alchemist. I think it's a book that really helps you to kind of learn to connect to the self. It just goes through this journey of this person discovering what their personal legend is and really living by it, even in those moments of uncertainty. This quote, so we're not even on chapter 1 yet, and look, there's already beautiful inspiration in this book. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. I think it may be very difficult for parents to realize that their children are not supposed to be an exact replica of them. And really, I think a lot of parents, unfortunately, though they may not have had any ill intentions, don't recognize that their children are their own singularly unique being. And really all parents should be doing is ensuring that their children have a safe space within which they get to grow. They're not supposed to be an exact copy, and so you're not supposed to shape your child's life, or parents should not be shaping their children's life. It should be give your child enough love and encouragement and space to blossom into who they're meant to be. But so you can do it with your knees together and your feet together, and then you're hunched, or not hunched, but you're leaning over your knees. And then the other posture, which is a little bit more might feel sweeter on the body, is when your knees are as wide as your yoga mat. Your forehead is to the earth, and you're just sinking. You're just letting it all out. There's all this space that you're saving for your abdomen when your knees are wider apart, so that might feel a little bit more comfortable. Generally, people prefer that version more. But benefits to both of them, more space and more opportunities to just activate the parasympathetic nervous system and really rest and digest when you're doing it with your knees extended, versus doing the traditional version that feels a little bit more closed. That version is very good for helping you to start to develop mind-body awareness and really becoming present and aware of your breath. Because it teaches back body breathing. So when you're with knees together and your heart is over your thighs and your knees, it's more constricting, so it's harder to breathe, and so it encourages you to really become aware of your breath. And so back body breathing is about envisioning where the breath is going as you're inhaling, and it's feeling it, sensing it, visualizing it, traveling to our back. Because normally when we breathe, I think we kind of all just assume, all that breath goes into the lungs and that's it, not recognizing that really the driver of the breath is our diaphragm, which is here. So, when people are to sing better, you gotta sing from here. In the same way, sing from the gut. In the same way, when you're breathing in general, our breaths should generally be deep and even paced and calm and restorative. But normally we're we're holding our breath because so many things are happening in life and it's a lot. So even how to breathe properly, it's not something that we really do or are taught to do. So that's on child's pose. So pigeon pose is also a really nice resting pose where one foot is in front of the other. Ideally, you want your foot parallel to your yoga mat, but I mean, that's kind of tough to do. So bringing it in as comfortably as you're able to and as feels delightful in your body. and then you bring your forehead down to the earth, and yeah, you just like lay there and rest. I in pigeon pose, and you just start crying. Like, you just start crying because it's like, it's a very deep posture. You're holding it. Sometimes you could be holding it for a while, and because you are really working the hips, the body keeps a score. The hips holds a lot of trauma and a lot of tension, especially as it relates to the family. And you can just release a lot when you're like holding a tough pose. You know, sometimes when people are like, they're just crying because the workout's hard, I'm convinced that it's not because the workout's hard, but it's more so that you're moving energy, and movement, working out in any form, somatic therapy, which yoga is somatic therapy, but it's all helpful for just the release of energy. Trauma is valid. Everyone deals with it, and life's journey is to overcome it and to connect to our truest selves so that we can live a happy, fulfilling, joyful life. That's supposed to be our resting state. Our resting state is not supposed to be stress, and I hate work and I hate this, and no, that's not normal. One thing that I hear often about the idea of empathy is, empathy is putting yourself in someone's shoes. I don't think that that's empathy anymore. I used to believe that at one point, but how I now see it is, if I need to put myself in your shoes before I'm ready to believe what you're telling me is your experience, then I don't know, that just doesn't seem, in my view, that just doesn't seem like empathy. Like, I should assume positive intent. I should believe you. When you tell me something is difficult for you or hard for you, I should just believe that. I shouldn't have to put your shoes on and then say, oh gosh, now I know what it's like. I shouldn't have to walk a mile in your shoes. I think the conversation now needs to get to this point of, you know what? There's not one size fits all. There's not like this measuring stick that determines when something becomes unbearable. Like, if it's unbearable for you at a specific moment in time, then it's unbearable for you at a specific moment in time. And I should just believe that you're doing the best that you can in the moment and hold space for you however I can so that you can get through that. Yeah. Also, I think like I just have the energy of the sun. When you look at it through the lens of yoga philosophy, where your right side is seen as your dominant side, your masculine side, your fiery and hot energy versus cooling energy, feminine energy, and the moon energy on the left. So even in a yoga philosophy sense, I feel like I really embody the sun. And I thought, being an immigrant, that the way that I would find success for myself and my family would be to go to school, get a good degree, go to a good school, get a good degree, and find a really good job, dedicate like 10, 20, 30 years of my life to that company, and then retire at like 50 and 60, and then start to live. Why is it, or not why is it, more so, I really reflected on that over time, especially like coming to yoga and developing awareness and developing presence, and discovering what I really want, like for myself. It's just further and further away from the traditional 9 to 5. It's further and further away from whatever systems we have cultivated or crafted or designed for ourselves today. If I were to stick to that old goal of just climbing the corporate ladder, by the time I was ready to pay my parents back for all the sacrifices they've made for me, they'd already be like 80, 90 years old. So you mean to tell me I pay them back at that point where, you know, you can still be young, or you can still feel young, and you can still lead an active style, I'd say, at that age. But let's be honest, folks, like, who's really trying to celebrate at that stage in the way that we would when we're younger, when our bodies are kinder to us, when we're when we're filled with more vitality, when we can travel in a way that wouldn't feel as restrictive or intrusive, you know? Like, I don't want to pay back my parents when they're at their older stages in life. I want to pay them back now, and I can see myself doing that. I'm just trying to make those steps to get there, and for that to be in alignment with what I do. It's not going to be through a traditional 9 to 5. It's not going to be through working for any tech company or climbing the corporate ladder. For some, that may be the goal and that may be what serves you. But I also realized that it's not normal for me to be freaking frustrated for 8 hours a day and then come home and try to spend my hours to reset from my frustration just so I can get ready to pile on more frustration the next day. I don't want that. I want my life to be peaceful every day, and I can do that. My peaceful and best days are when I wake up, when I do my little practice, I'm rising with the sun, I'm having my little tea ceremony. Like, I define how my day goes. I don't want a company to define that for me anymore. I feel very secure in what I'm getting. Like, I'll be the first to say, like, I think that I'm earning more than the average person, more than the average American at least. And I'm thankful for like what I'm earning, but simultaneously, like, if I'm not in alignment with what I'm doing, I'm not in alignment with what I'm doing, and that's just it. Like, I'll give thanks for where I'm at, but this is no longer where I want to be, and that's okay too. That is an okay reality for me to have. I say that with some, you can see that I'm saying that a little strongly too, and I'm saying that strongly because I've noticed like there are YouTubers that I'm following that are living their best lives, that are traveling the world, and that have enough, and they're also finding abundance in very unique ways. And I see comments on these videos where people are mad at them for living their best life. Like, how could you be mad at someone for being happy and doing what they want to do and finding fulfillment in life? How? And the reason they're getting upset is like, oh, well, you had this rich job that was paying you all this money before, and that's why you can easily say now, like, quit your job, do what you really want to do. And it's like, that's not it at all. Like, they're not telling you to do that. They're literally just showing you that it's possible for you to get there. And for you to then try to like shit on, like, what's the need for us to be spreading all this negativity? There's none. There's really none. So I'm saying this strongly also for the people that may see this later on when I am at a point in my life, because I'm manifesting that. I'm mindful of my language. When I'm at a point in my life where I'm living my best life, where I'm fully doing what it is that I want to be doing, and I'm earning enough or more than enough from it, and I'm helping people along the way, because it's not just about earning money at the end of the day. It's about transforming lives and helping people to awaken to their own potential and to be happier. Like, at the end of the day, that's all I want for people to realize, like, you get to decide how fulfilling your life is. So, like, why not show you how to live a fulfilling life? And realize now, especially I want to say for the past 2 weeks, I've been getting better with really embodying and just like living it, rather than saying, oh, I wish, or I want to. Like, I was going to message a friend about my live stream like today or yesterday, and when I was like typing the message to them, I was like, oh, I want to go live, and I was like, no. I deleted that message and I said, I'm going live at 7:30 because I am. Like, why would I say I want when a desire, a want, that's like, it's not the thing. It's a potential hindrance, and that's why I'm also trying to be mindful of my language, because if I say that I am, if I realize that I am, if I just say I am and I hold true to that, being authentic in life is really just being true to your word, being true to your emotions, being in alignment with all of that. That becomes easier when you are mindful of your language, when you are just embodying. And the easiest way to get into that space and that mindset of embodying is to watch your words. Be careful how you pick them. Oh yes, my baby, yes, give me 7. Because all manifestation is getting to a point where you're so comfortable in your body that you're in a state of being receptive. And so when you're so comfortable in your body, when you're getting closer and closer to your purest self, and your purest self is just unbothered, it's unconditioned, it's not raptured by thought, you are just like really calm and comfortable in your body. From that point, it's filling in that space. So when you're calm and when you're at your purest self, you're unpolished, you're unmarred, you're a clean slate, you're blank. And so manifestation is then filling in that blank, painting that canvas. And so in that state of, I am rested, I am connected to myself, what is it that I envision for myself, and what is it that I want for my future? And then envisioning maybe someone celebrating you, and playing that image in my head, imagining how it feels, imagining that delightment that I feel in my body from being celebrated from someone who's important to me, imagining that feeling of like finally getting to a point where I did have the courage to quit, I did have the courage to take that leap of faith, and I was rewarded for it. Imagining what would I feel like in that moment. That's what manifestation is. Because at the end of the day, again, if you're just thinking about your future and living in the state of like, I want this for myself, I want this for myself, then you'll never be able to live in the present moment and to receive the gifts of the present moment. And so when you're so calm and so relaxed and you're so receptive and you're envisioning what success would be like if you got that thing that you're trying to manifest and you feel it experientially in your body, then you're conditioning your body to look out for the opportunities that are going to help you to get there. You're conditioning your body to get to a point of feeling fulfillment with that thing that you're envisioning and imagining for yourself. Manifestation is really just like getting clear on what it is that you want, experiencing it so that you get used to just living it. And so when you finally are at a point of it coming into a life where you're going to receive it, you can just receive it. You can just be in the present, receive the gifts of the present, receive what it is that you've been manifesting, and enjoy it without chasing the next thing. So yeah, that has been today's live stream of Spilling the Tea of Life. Thank you so much for stopping in. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that this was valuable to you in any shape or form. And if you found value from it and you know someone that may also find value from this, please share it with them. Maybe save it, add it to your watch later playlist, or just save it to your saves in general, because you may need it. Or you may find someone who will. So thank you again so much for being here. I hope that you are having a fantastic day, and I hope that you have the sweetest dreams whenever you do go to sleep, so that you can be reminded of how good life gets and how much control you have over making your life great. Bye everyone!